Guys, this update is absolutely amazing. So when it first comes out, it's not out yet, you're going to go into Yotenheim's gates. So you can see here that the graphics at Yotenheim's gate are amazing. There's a bunch of new resources. That's not a new resource. There's a new resource, but there's a ton of them. And this is only just the beginning. Once you get into this room, there's going to be a caretaker, which we killed in the live stream. Super easy. Once you open this gate, and it's really, look at the graphics on this. I mean, the graphics at Yotenheim are just amazing. So you can see this tower right there. This drawbridge comes up when you first unlock it, and it really looks cool. Make sure to watch this animation when it comes out because, you know, obviously it only happens once, and it's a really cool animation. Then this guy says, you know, basically go into the town. And so you're going to go through here. And then once you defeat the caretaker and you open that bridge, then this is all going to become available to you. So the first thing you're going to do is go over to the Giant's Camp. This Giant's Camp, you're going to want to go all the way over here to the end where you find the Giant and the Giant Chief. And he's going to basically say, hey, you know, there's going to be a whole storyline to it. And he's going to say, hey, you know, you build reputation with us. We want you to help us free this land. And so he's going to give you access to this, you know, basically battle pass essentially. And as you develop reputation with the Giants, you're going to get some really cool skills. Mainly you're going to get extra levels, and it's completely free to play to upgrade those levels. I think it's 150, but it might actually be level 200. And if it is level 200, then that's going to be really crazy. We're going to get up to level 200, but it's all free to play. If you work for it, then you get it, and you can't really gym it. It's not, this update is such a free-to-play update. So there's a lot of other really cool things. You get a rank 2 horse for free. That's the equivalent of 12 days of free-to-play. You also get this, which I'm going to show you guys in a video soon. I'm going to buy some of these, and we're going to be able to see what is in those chests. You get a ton of other stuff. You get, you know, the ice club. There's a ton of new weapons in the game, and a lot of them are blue, but they're actually much more powerful than they might seem. For example, this crossbow, this ice crossbow, a 10% chance of creating a fear to like the whole enemy team and his nearby allies. So basically this in PvP is really powerful. You can basically make their entire team start running away. It's honestly, this should definitely be a purple weapon. It seems way overpowered in my mind. Even though it has lower damage, the skill is so powerful on it. You got Kern's Staff, which is a combat staff, but it also decreases the healing of your enemy. You got this Ice Dagger, which has a chance for critical hits. This is going to be really good for the bandit. And then you've got this Ice Sword and Shield, which is some situations it might be better than a Nord Sword and Shield. It's definitely better than the Raider's Hatchet in my mind for a protector, because you get the same amount of protection, but you also get that cooldown. It's not going to be better than a Nord Sword and Shield in most situations though. And then you got an Ice Staff, which is a support staff, has a 20% chance of healing you and your nearby enemies, which that's going to add up pretty quickly. Then we got the Ice Axe, which is a, you know, it's a purple weapon. It's got 60 DPS, which is really high, and it does a lifesteal, 10% lifesteal. So that is going to be really good for a Thrasher. Someone who, you know, you cling to that person and you hit them and they're going to be doing damage to you, but you're going to be healing yourself as you do damage to them. It's going to be really, people that you see an Ice Axe, you're going to want to bolo them. You're going to keep them away from you because you're not going to be able to beat them if they're doing damage to you while you're doing damage to them, because they're going to be healing themselves. And then we've got the Ice Scythe, which, you know, is another combat staff, 50 DPS, which is good, but it does a 15% extra damage to anyone that, you know, is low on health. So it's a pretty good weapon for like a fire mage. And then you can see throughout here there's a ton of new resources, so we're going to talk about that. Mainly what you're going to want to do is you're going to get the quest from these guys, and once a day you can get a quest from both of those guys and this guy too. Yeah, so 3 people you can get quests from 3 different people, and those quests are going to give you giant reputation. Okay, there's no way to pay to win this. It's completely free to play. You got to just do the grind, but it's a fun grind. So these zones are 15 seconds on, 15 seconds of blizzard. There's still ways to survive the blizzard, but this zone is no PvP. And one of the big changes that they made on this, and I'm going to cover all the hidden changes in a hidden changes video, but one of the big changes that they made in this update is that they got rid of Freyr's Land, which honestly a lot of people were using it to team, and you don't really need it anymore. I'm going to explain why. Freyr's Land is like, you know, it's yesterday. You shouldn't even care about Freyr's Land anymore. They made all the zones PvP again. Now, some of you guys, or most of you guys, are going to be happy because a lot of people were really cooling on this zone truce. It was frustrating that, you know, especially in tombs. Those of you who liked the zone truce, you're still going to be happy because honestly, I would spend most of your time in the Northern Valley. There are so many good things in the Northern Valley that you can get, and but we're going to go ahead and go to the PvP zone. This obviously has better loot in the PvP zone, but this is going to be your representation of the truce zone. You know, no PvP. You can farm it as much as you want, and then there's the PvP. This is going to be similar to Freyr's Land, except it's not. A lot of people are going to be going here for resources, so it's not going to just be for PvP. Hopefully they will out of arena later. So then you see these crystals. You can see this animation. It's just so cool. You can get those hammers that I just got. Sometimes a monster pops out. And there's a few other items that you can get, but they're really good. You want to open those crystals anytime you can. When you see something with these ice crystals on it and you mine it, you're going to notice that not only do you get a ton, 9 iron, but you also get eternal ice shard. These eternal ice shards have a lot of uses and they're everywhere. So make sure to get them. The reason you're not going to care about Freyr's Land is because, watch this. I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Same amount of hits, 6 copper instead of 2. This is the place to farm copper and maple now, and iron in my opinion. I mean, it is just the place to farm really any resource you can. These berries aren't that great. Okay, there's a caretaker. If you kill the caretaker, why didn't that work? Whatever. If you kill the caretaker, the things he spawns disappears, which is kind of nice. Okay, here's another one of those ice crystals. Let's see what's in this one. Alright, so Dragon Tier. There's Dragon Tier, so that's another item in the game. There's a lot of new items in the game, and there's 11 new workbenches. So we're going to talk about that. Here's a new item in the game. It's called a fire bloom, I think. And so it's pretty good. Okay, another Dragon Tier. So I think we're getting lucky getting resources, because usually, I mean, there's definitely a lot of times when a little enemy will pop out. You can see here that maple also gives 6 every time you chop it down. Man, I tell you what, having a bear or a really advanced wolf is going to help a ton. Make sure to mount your animal before you travel to Yotenheim, because it's a pretty big distance, and so that having that horse or wolf or whatever you have cut down on that distance is going to help a lot. Okay, so here's one of the new items. It's called a cooking pot. You can see here the crafting menu has a lot of new items. All of these are free to play. There's no way to just buy these materials. That you have to go and grind for it. And so this is a very free to play update. The blacksmith workbench gives you the ability to craft a bunch of different things. I'm just going to show you actually in it. You can see it down here. It takes up a big area. You see it right here. It's huge. And so here's all the different recipes. You have to get a corresponding thing to make it better. And so it's going to take you a while before you get to all this. But you can now craft metal parts, leather strips, dragon scales, resin, and pliers from this. And so obviously the biggest one is leather strips. The fact that you can just go and kill a bunch of wolves and bears and deer from the winter zone and just turn it all into leather strips is really awesome. It does take a while. I'm hoping the devs change how long it takes. It feels kind of ridiculous, especially with how much, you know, you got to grind for a workbench. It just feels like they should make that shorter, but hopefully they will. You know, often when an update comes out, things are just a little bit more harsh, because it's always easier to make things go down than it is to make things go up. So then we've got the magic workbench, which allows you to craft soul stones, ghost flowers, oil, fish glue, and alchemical powder. 2 dragon tiers. You can see we've already gotten a lot of those. You saw how easy it was to get eternal ice. We can turn that into fish glue now. These were pretty easy too. So Honestly, if you are a grinder, if you're one of those people that just likes to farm resources, this is going to be perfect for you. You're going to be able to grind those resources, turn them into exactly the resources that you need, and then craft a bunch of items like the strong shield and sword, and then turn that into points at Odin's. Okay, so you can see here that once the 15 minutes of kind of chill winter zone is over, then you've got 45 minutes of like blizzard, storm winter zones. And if you go into the winter zones during those times, you're gonna freeze to death. We're about to do it. I'm gonna show it to you. Okay, so you can see here that we're in the middle of a storm. That obviously is going to affect us. I actually don't know. I don't know how to die in the winter storm. It definitely makes some effect on us, but I'm not sure what. Obviously, if you get by the fire, then you can see that the winter storm disappears. So staying by the fire is going to be the, especially early on, that's going to be your way of protecting yourself from the winter storm. Another way to protect yourself is to create a dragon ale, which requires ghost flower and then 2 blood mushrooms and 2 primrose, and that's going to give you a dragon ale, and that gives you 15 minutes of invulnerability. You can just run around as much as you want. You can see though, like once I got that fire, like it lasts for a while. Like I'm not near the fire anymore, and I still got quite the, I'm still in protection. So I come over here, I just got to run back to the fire. There we go, I got the fire protection. So yeah, there's so many different new resources, and I'll cover all of the changes in a future update. I just wanted you guys to see, basically the main point of this video is for you guys to see how incredibly free to play they made this update. It is actually impossible to succeed just by spending money. They made it where you really have to actually play the game, which is just such a good move, both for free to play players, but honestly, I think even for pay to win players, like it forces you to play the game. And I mean, you can see here that there is literally nothing has been added to the shop. There's no new things you can buy, nothing frost related. Maybe they'll add more later, I don't know. And I'll cover all of these in future updates. I'm going to show you the best way to complete all of these things in future videos. Just so you know, the ice abode seems to be the next thing and that they're going to be doing, and then this will probably be after that. So they're going to keep developing this winter zone, but in the meantime, there's a lot of fun things to do, a lot of new weapons to try out, and the weapons are really cool, but none of them are super OP. It's not like someone can just, buy the premium plus 10 and just get a weapon that's going to, dominate everyone else. The purple weapons of the zone are not that much better than the purple weapons we're already familiar with. It'll be cool to have it. Awesome update, very free to play. And I'll give you guys more information in the next few days in more and more video. I'm just going to make as many videos as I can. All right, guys. I'll see you next time.